All right, some interesting news this week, starting with the Epiphone 1958 Korina Flying V electric guitars. Epiphone guitars have been highly praised recently for their quality and value, and we now have a V-style guitar. If you're not sure what these are, check it out. I'm not sure this is my kind of thing, but I think they're cool. Let me know in the comments below if you would be rocking one of these at your gigs. Big news from Neural this week, another plugin. Now, I have read online that some people believe that Neural should be putting more work into the quad Cortex and not their plugins, but from the start, Neural have said that they do these plugins in order to fund other products like the quad Cortex. This is a really interesting one because it's a Boogie. A Mesa Boogie, and it is based on the Mark IIc Plus. It's an official collaboration. You know that because you can see the logo on the screen. And I think that's really cool. When Mesa were acquired by Gibson, there was a lot of fear that they would be ruined and destroyed by a big corporation, but I've seen good things happening, and I think this is a good thing too, and it will get more exposure for the company and might lead to more sales of their other amps. The thing with this is, I have played it. There's actually a free trial, so I urge you to download it and try it. It's a very, very good plugin. I think it sounds amazing. I love the way they've done it. On the back panel, there's a really good spring reverb. There's a lot of effects built in. For what I do, I could do a whole gig with this. But then I personally realized, look, I have the quad Cortex. That's great too. And I have a million other plugins on the computer. I don't really need another one. I don't think I'll be buying the full version, but I am impressed with it. And this might be what you're looking for if you don't have any plugins on your computer currently. So check out the free demo and see what you think. Related to that, we do have an update this month on the quad Cortex. So 2.0.0 is still the current version. There are some bugs reported, and 2.0.1 should be releasing pretty soon to address those bugs. They're also working on 2.1.0, which will bring new features, and they've outlined some of them here. One of them is a redesigned cab sim block. They're also letting you add this block to the capture process, because the problem before is that when you captured an amp, you then just heard the amp without a cab, which sounds weird. Now, when you capture an amp, you can have a cab block loaded, so you can actually audition it and hear it in its true form. I mean, that's something that should have been there from day one probably, but it's great they've added it. I like what they're doing. They've also said that at NAMM next month, they should be showing a beta version of the desktop editor. So maybe not going quite as fast as some would like, but they are making progress, and I do think this is a great product. This is a big one for me. Let me tell you a quick story. Wireless for me is a bit of a love-hate relationship. I do think the Sennheiser systems, the XSW systems, have been great for me, but I've had several die on me, and I've had to pay to have them repaired by Sennheiser. I can't trust them anymore, and just as I decided to give up on wireless completely, the next day, these were announced. Now, they don't have the same convenient form factor, but I believe these are more pro, the batteries are replaceable, and batteries last a lot longer as well, and I think this is the way to go if you want to go wireless. So basically, I think because of the chip shortage, they've made a new version of their systems. The main differences are the old versions were 2.4 gigahertz, these are 2.4 and 5.8. That means you're going to get better connectivity and also slightly better battery life. There's 3 formats for these, and they're all identical apart from the format. So the guitar pedal version you can see on the screen there, the first one, is for your pedal board. That's quite heavy because it's metal, it's rugged, it goes on the pedal board. The next one along is the half rack unit, if you want to keep it permanently in a rack. And the next one you see there for $499 is the GLXD 14 Plus tabletop version. Now, I've gone for that version. Why? Because I don't usually take a pedal board out with me. I want the lightest gear to travel with. That is the lightest one. It has the big antennas on it that the tuner doesn't have. And I think for me, that'll be great. But by the way, you can also mix and match. So if you buy the guitar version today, you can buy the mic later and add it to that system. You can't have both at the same time, but you can use either the mic or the guitar. And also, if you do buy the tabletop version and get the transmitter body pack, you could then buy just the tuner pedal by itself and use it with that. So everything is modular. Everything can be kind of mixed and matched. I think that's really cool too. Like I said, more money and not quite as convenient as those little bug systems, but I think they'll be much more professional, much more reliable. And I think this is the way I'm going to go. So watch out on the channel for a full review when I get mine. Next up, Thomann are now stocking Martin guitars. You may not realize this, but they haven't had Martin guitars in stock there. They're now a full dealer. They have all the instruments there, and they just released a video about it. So I know I've got viewers in Europe. If you're in Europe, you can now buy a Martin guitar from Thomann, and I'll put the link below. Here's some news from Gibson. I think this warrants a discussion, so let me know in the comments below what you think of this. Gibson are going to start selling vintage instruments. I think this is the first time this has happened. So Gibson have a collection of vintage instruments. They're going to certify them, offer a lifetime warranty with them, and a certificate of authenticity, and then sell them. Now, some of these can be worth a lot of money. So for people that are buying these, it could be a good thing, because it must be good to have the company actually say, look, this is legit, this is all original, and you've got a warranty with it. I don't know. I can't really get my head around it yet because it's such a new kind of concept to me, but I think it's interesting. And like I said, let me know in the comments what you think about this. Here's a piece of software that I use a lot. This is not a new version, by the way. It's just a bug fix release. Now, they don't release many bug fixes for the Mac version of Band in the Box, but since there's been one this week, I thought I would put it in here. So if you have Band in the Box Mac 2022, you can see on the screen there, Build 611 is the new version. Do run the software update checker, and if it says there's a new version, do install it, because they don't release many bug fixes, but when they do, they are usually really good and definitely worth installing, as most bug fixes are, to be fair. Finally, another company I'm a fan of, Cole Clark. This is big news if you're in the USA. Cole Clark were distributed by Korg, which was great for me because Korg are in Long Island, but not really so great because I was constantly looking at the dealers and they didn't have any guitars. So I know we went through the pandemic and there were shortages. I know Cole Clark are in Australia and logistically that makes a problem too. But now Cole Clark are no longer distributed by Korg. Now they're going to be distributed by their own company, Cole Clark USA, based out of somewhere in the South, I believe. So what this should mean for you is there should be more guitars available soon at dealers. And I think that is going to be great for everyone. So that's the news for today. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like and leave a comment below. If you want to be notified of whenever I post the news on a Friday, just subscribe and ring the bell. And also I do live streams and gear reviews and other content as well. I hope to see you again in a future video. Take care and be well. Bye-bye.